Good morning, everyone, and welcome back to the Bozard Ford studio. We have a lot to catch up on, but don't you worry. You don't have to hear Troy do any more reads for a while.
Thank goodness.
A while at least. We have a spa that gave way too many gift cards out and now filing for bankruptcy, a boat capsized in the inlet, a new law requiring a school bus in a new neighborhood, and many Canadians not as many Canadians are coming to visit Florida. We will get to all that and more, but first, thank you, Bozard Ford. Since 1949, Bozard Ford Lincoln has been more than just a dealership. It has been a trusted family-owned part of the St. Augustine community for over 75 years. Founded by U.S. Navy veterans Fred H. Bozard Jr. and Fred Bozard III, their legacy of service continues today through unmatched customer service, award-winning facilities, and deep community involvement. From 91 climate-controlled service bays to their no-appointment, quick lane Wi-Fi in the customer lounge and fantastic food and drinks at Ford's Garage, Restaurant, and Bar. They do everything just to serve you. Experience their nationally recognized customer service, honored with Triple Crown Award, President's Awards, and more. Bozard Ford Lincoln is here to serve you with great pricing, great selection, and even better people. Bozard Ford Lincoln, they are driven to inspire. Also, a big shout out to all of our other amazing sponsors: Fidus Roofing, Old Town Trolley, Bin 39 Wine Bar, B&S Signs, Chiba Hut, Toasted Subs, St. Augie's Pizza, Chris Lucero Bail Bonds, and St. Augustine Handy Houses. Support all of our wonderful sponsors and support us with your likes, comments, and shares. Find us on YouTube and help us reach our goal of 1,000 subscribers. We are also up on Rumble, so find us there as well. Subscribe, do the things. You can help Chili get a new chew toy by sending those Facebook stars. We really appreciate it. And our app is back in the Apple App Store. All right. Good morning, fellas. How we doing?
Hey, happy Tuesday.
Happy Tuesday.
It's hard not to say Monday on the long weekend.
Yeah, it is. How was your Memorial Day weekend?
Oh, it was great. It was hot. We went down and did the ceremony with Colonel Dudley at the National Cemetery.
Yep.
And it was very nice. It was, it was just hot.
Yeah.
So, and there's not a lot of breeze in there.
Mm-hmm.
So, but our Blake's phone didn't overheat this time.
That's good.
So that was good. No, but it was a good weekend.
Yeah.
Nice weather pretty much all weekend.
Nice.
A little bit of rain. Just enough to cool things down.
Yeah. It rained right after we got home, and it looked, based on our plans, I'm guessing it didn't rain much while we were gone.
No, it did. Well, that was I think that was when it was. It was on Sunday.
Yeah,
I think
it was Sunday
when the rain came in.
We do the National Cemetery, but we usually go later. It just happened that my kids would get eked out by the gunshots during the ceremony, so we go later. We have a tradition. We take our own flowers and we go to a different spot in the cemetery each year, and we lay down flowers at the
very nice.
and we thank the people that are interred there.
Yeah.
So that's just kind of our tradition. We go later, like I said. So we were there probably about 1:32, and the spot we hadn't hit the year before was in the shade under the trees.
Oh, that was nice.
It wasn't too hot for us by the time we got there.
Yeah, no. When they do the 21 gun salute thing, it's a little.
Yeah.
Everyone seems to jump, even though it's coming. They tell you it's about to happen
it's
right
so
now.
Loud, though.
And then as soon as they do it, it's like, oh.
Yeah. So, I had lots of years of crying babies and was like, well, just come later. That's okay. We can come later.
Yeah.
100%. Blake, how you doing?
I'm doing fantastic today. Just make sure everything's ready for the traffic report today.
Nice. We appreciate all of the hard work you put in before we get here today.
Thank you.
Do we have a question of the day, Troy?
All right. Question of the day is, what language would you like to know? I would say learn, but I'm too lazy to learn it, because you can learn whatever language you want.
Yeah.
If but I just want to know it. Like, boop, put it in my head, like download it.
Like Matrix style, plug in, it.
Yeah,
okay.
Just download it.
So that would be Spanish. My mother-in-law is a naturalized citizen from Nicaragua, and so English is her second language. She is fluent, but I would like to speak to her in Spanish. And
how's Louis' Spanish?
So she was learning Spanish when he was a baby, And so she was trying to speak English at home. She was watching TV shows and repeating things. So she didn't speak it that much at home. And his dad was trying to not have his kids have an accent.
Yeah.
And so he was really focused on English as well, because where he grew up, you got beat up if you had a Spanish accent. So he didn't want his kids to have a Spanish accent. And so he understands it, but he doesn't.
Big Louie, that's not the reason you got beat up.
What are you talking about? So he understands it, but he doesn't speak it. And he didn't realize how much he understood it until he took me to Nicaragua. And I was sitting there completely out of the loop.
Yeah,
and he's like, how do you not know what they're saying? I'm like, because I wasn't around it my whole life.
I wasn't raised around it at all. So
it would be nice to also learn French, Leonard.
Yeah. So Blake, what about you, man?
Yeah. I would definitely have to say Spanish for me because it feels like every single year I'm peer pressured by my mom to learn Spanish.
Yeah. Well, I mean, like, and Blake's grandfather was from Old San Juan, but his mom, they didn't speak it in the house either. She learned it after the fact, not from growing up. So I mean, she taught herself that what she knows.
But we'll say though, the funniest thing about learning Spanish was when you tried to resist.
I was so horrible.
It was so
Hola.
Incorrect.
Donde está la biblioteca?
Incorrect.
Yeah. I couldn't get past. I literally couldn't get past like page 1.
Yeah.
It was my Southern accent. I didn't realize how bad my Southern accent was. I thought I spoke very, neutral.
English,
neutral. I don't know if there's proper English, but neutral. And no, I guess it really shined when I did Rosetta Stone.
Because Rosetta Stone, it has a microphone and it'll correct
it has
you,
a little headset and a microphone, and you kind of talk into it, and you have to master this one before you go to the next one. And it was so frustrating. Like everyone else was doing it like once, twice. I was doing it like 6 times.
Yeah.
Just like my dyslexia is just.
Yeah, that's a reinforcement schedule problem right there, Rosetta Stone.
Yeah.
They already had your money though.
They did. They did. No, and so it works for some people. Wasn't me. And mine's Spanish too. I mean, just our geographical location. If I had to pick a second one, I think it would be Chinese, probably Mandarin, just because of the world. Yeah, is that's most 5 billion people speak it. So so that might be my next one. So.
Yeah, I think my second one would be French, just because it's a weird language where, to non-native speakers, it'll sound like the same language or the same word, but you're saying a whole sentence. Just the slightest little inflection or tone will change the same sound to a non-native speaker to make a different word. So you could just mess with people. That's probably the reason, just to mess with people.
Yeah, and probably, I mean, out of convenience, Jakarta, the group, the family I work with, that's the language they speak. That would be convenient.
That would be
convenient. But I don't think it's that easy to learn.
I don't think so.
I could learn Spanish.
My brother tried to learn
I took
Mandarin
Latin in high school,
and he gave up.
Just to help with like word origins and stuff on the SAT. Yeah, it still didn't help either.
Yeah, we do Latin in our homeschool, and my kids are always questioning why we're doing Latin.
Yeah, well, French, Italian, and Spanish all kind of spring out of there.
Yeah.
So, and English, but
English has Latin and Germanic roots.
Yeah.
Which is interesting. So the words that are hard to sound out, those are more than likely Latin. They derive from Latin, and the phonetic, that we learn phonics and we sound out words. Those are more Germanic root words in English. So English has kind of a dual parentage there.
Yeah. Right. And Bobby said to ASL, Bobby, you speak ASL, don't you?
Yeah, I thought he did.
I thought I signed with you before.
I think so. Now it's time for a quick check of the weather.
It's high.
That quick check of the weather is brought to you by Ben 39. Discover one of St. Augustine's best kept secrets. Ben 39, tucked inside St. George Inn at the north end of St. George Street. With over 95 boutique wines, 50 of them rated 90 points or higher by Robert Parker. It's the perfect spot for a romantic date night or a relaxing after-work unwind. Sit by the glass or the bottle in a serene courtyard setting and enjoy live music Thursday through Sunday. Open daily from 8 a.m. to 8 p.m. Just stop by and say, I'll have what Irving's having. Bin 39, your taste to discover. They open at 9. You could watch our show on your phone while you're drinking wine with Irv.
Yeah.
I think that would be an excellent thing to do.
Yeah, they open at 8.
Yeah, 8. I meant 8. I meant 8. Ben 39, 8. All of those things.
All those numbers.
Yeah, it's a lot of numbers.
All those numbers.
I don't like numbers.
No, that was a great show with Irving.
Yeah.
We had a wonderful time with him, and just he brought in some great wines. So.
He always does, and I always miss it.
Next time we'll get you.
All right, hit the Blake's traffic report.
Traffic. And looks like we have the cousin. Looks like we have Willie Watt's cousin's Waldo is on the camera at mile marker 331.
Oh no!
Waldo.
Indeed, but besides Waldo, traffic's looking
Waldo
very clear today.
Ay.
Oh, there he is.
We were gone for a couple of days, and when I came home, we beat the kids home by like an hour. There was a wasp dead on one of the windowsills. I told my husband he had to come get it. The kids would freak out.
Yeah.
Well, there's the cousin.
We'll see if we go back to that camera tomorrow. I want to see
if he's still there. It'll
see
just
how
be
long
mudded
Waldo.
over.
See if we can find where's Waldo.
Indeed.
And we have, what is that? Petty notebook?
The Poetry Notebook.
Oh, that's
Poetry.
from like me in 3rd grade. You can see I was a great speller then too.
That's so sweet.
I don't know when Blake took that picture.
We love poetry.
Yeah. So I believe it was when we were going through like your closet. Then like all of a sudden we saw like, oh, here's like a signed baseball that definitely wasn't signed. That definitely wasn't signed by your aunt.
My aunt and uncle went to a spring training game and they came back and said that they had all these people sign it from like the Orioles or something.
Yeah.
And then we double checked it. They completely signed it themselves. But like Troy will never know.
Well, that was sweet. That was before the internet, so
yeah,
he'll never know.
There was no way for me to argue with him at that point. But it was like, we can check it at this point.
Yeah, I'm glad that wasn't.
Well, there was so many of them that looked the exact same. You know, like I started questioning it in high school. But yeah, they're wonderful people. And Donna's not with us anymore, but yeah, they're wonderful.
I'm glad that wasn't your.
She's laughing.
Plan.
She's laughing right now. Like you finally figured it out.
That's like my grandfather. My mom would always wake up early and make breakfast with her dad, and for years he would shake an egg and be like, "Oh man, a rooster egg!" Crack it into the pan, and it took years before my mom was like, Daddy, roosters don't lay eggs. And he was like, thank you. Finally. I've been saying that for years.
I don't have to say it anymore.
Just for this moment. All right, stay out of the traffic, climb aboard Old Town Trolley, and experience over 500 years of history in the heart of St. Augustine. This fully narrated 90-minute tour features 22 convenient stops and covers more than 100 points of interest, including iconic landmarks like the Castillo de San Marcos, the Fountain of Youth, and Flagler's Historic Hotel. With open-air views and all-day hop-on, hop-off access, it's the most fun and flexible way to explore the nation's oldest city. Your ticket also includes free admission to the St. Augustine History Museum, and local St. Johns County residents ride free with a full fare guest through the Hometown Pass program. Sign up at hometownpass.com. Old Town Trolley, the best way to see St. Augustine, one stop at a time. All right, making our way into the news. St. Augustine Spa files for bankruptcy following abrupt closure. A long-time St. Augustine Spa has filed for bankruptcy just weeks after running a major gift card promotion and assuring customers it wasn't closing, I swears. Small Indulgences Day Spa, a popular local business for 25 years, abruptly
popular enough.
Not popular enough. Abruptly shut its doors May 6th. The closure came shortly after the spa promoted a buy one, get 20 free gift card deal, leaving dozens of customers holding unusable cards worth hundreds of dollars. On Monday, the spa confirmed via Facebook that it had filed for Chapter 7 bankruptcy in the U.S. Bankruptcy Court for the Middle District of Florida. In the post, the spa called the decision extremely difficult, citing ongoing economic challenges and business difficulties. A court-appointed trustee will now investigate the spa and manage the liquidation process. The case is being handled by LaFleur Law Firm, which sounds a little bougie, which can be contacted at 904-797-7995. While customers may not be able to redeem their cards at small indulgences, several local businesses are stepping up to help. Inspire Aesthetics and Wellness is offering up to $100 in facial and aesthetic services per person for anyone who presents a valid small indulgences gift card or proof of purchase now through July 31st. Other businesses, including Wave Salon and Spa and Nail Services by Crystal Stone, are also honoring the unused gift cards. Cassie Baltimore, owner of Inspire Aesthetics, said that she was inspired to help after seeing the community's response. Quote, St. Augustine is a small town that's getting bigger, but still has that small town feel. Baltimore said, this is a great opportunity to show we're here to take care of each other. So as we all know, I have some of these gift cards. We purchased the buy one, get 10 promotion. My next massage was supposed to be in 2 days.
It was the free one?
Yeah. So I got the one I paid for in, I believe, late March, and it was taking months to schedule a next one. So I'm sure there's lots of people that just never got the one they paid for. But I'm not gonna go to these businesses and demand they give me free stuff. I got the one that I paid for. The 10 is a loss.
I mean, it's going to be,
life.
I mean, if they file for bankruptcy, basically what they're telling is, get in line. So,
well, it's Chapter 7 bankruptcy. That's not usually what we hear. We usually hear Chapter 11.
Yeah. So Chapter 11 bankruptcy is the one that you most commonly hear. That's the restructuring one. Mm-hmm. So you see like major businesses like go through that. Like I believe like originally when Circuit City filed for bankruptcy, they filed for Chapter 11. Yeah. But then eventually they filed for Chapter 7, which is the total liquidation.
Yeah, that's like Chapter 7 is pretty much the death sentence.
There is no hope.
Yeah.
No.
Yeah. Chapter 11 is, like I said, it just kind of keeps your debtors at bay.
Yeah, to give you a chance to get your feet back underneath.
Yeah.
Maybe they should have done that rather than do the
they
buy one,
did that
get
first.
a bajillion.
Yeah, they should have did that first, that attempt. But I think they knew. I
was really looking forward to that massage in a couple of days, and now it's not going to happen. Okay. So looking for a new spa for a massage.
Yeah, and actually, we could use a spa as a sponsor. So.
Yeah, I would love that. Trade massages for sponsorship. I haven't talked to my business partner about that, but I'm sure it's fine.
We can work it out.
All right, a boat capsizes near the St. Augustine Inlet on Memorial Day. Multiple people were rescued after a boat capsized near the St. Augustine Inlet Monday afternoon, according to the St. Augustine Fire Department. Crews from St. Augustine Police Department, St. Johns County Fire Rescue, St. Johns County Sheriff's Office, U.S. Coast Guard Southeast, and Florida Fish and Wildlife Conservation Commission responded to the capsized boat at 2 p.m. Crews safely pulled the people out of the water. The fire department did not specify how many people were in the boat. Fortunately, no injuries or pollution were reported. Officials said the boaters were wearing their life vests. The cause for the boat's capsizing is under investigation.
Yeah, it doesn't say the size of the boat.
It doesn't say the size of the boat. That's a lot of agencies to respond.
And everybody was wearing their life vests. So that's
unusual.
It's different. Usually it's the kids. Kids under the age of 12 usually are the ones wearing the life vest.
Okay,
it's not that big of a boat.
Okay, it's not that big of a boat.
I don't see him with the life vest on.
I don't see life vests either.
No, I don't think they're wearing the life vests.
But the boat was still buoyant enough, I guess, to get them out of the water.
And if this does happen, don't leave the boat.
No.
Do not leave the boat. The boat's easier to find than you floating in the water out there. And this one looks like this one looks like it was right at the inlet. Mm-hmm. But it's easy to get swept out, but don't leave the boat.
Hold on to the boat. Yeah. Definitely stay with the boat.
Don't become shark bait.
Gas Buddy Gas Report. Tell us in the comments what gas prices are looking like around you. We've got Mobil and Circle K at $2.59. That's at South Ponce de Leon Boulevard. Owens, also South Ponce de Leon, is $2.89. Sunoco at South Ponce de Leon is $2.89 as well. So is the Shell on Ponce de Leon, 216 Ponce de Leon Boulevard. Shell on 146 King Street is $2.89 as well. So is Sunoco, North Ponce de Leon. Shell on North Ponce de Leon, also $2.89. The Gate on Mizell is $2.92. Circle K on 207 is $2.96. And A1A discount beverage, $2.99. Don't forget to drop those gas prices in the comments. That Gas Buddy Gas Report is brought to you by Chris Lucero Bail Bonds. Trouble with the law? Call the name St. Augustine has trusted for years. Chris Lucero Bail Bonds. Available 24/7. Their experienced and compassionate team works fast to get you and your loved ones out of jail and back home. From paperwork to release, they make the process simple, discreet, and stress-free with no judgment. Just help when you need it most. When the time matters, remember the name and the number, Chris Lucero Bail Bonds at 904-822-BAIL. That's 904-822-2245. We've got a live music report. Let's raise the roof, everybody. JC Hatfield Duo at Milltop Tavern, 12 p.m. Brett Blackshear at Tradewinds Lounge, 1 p.m. Joshua Tennessee Worthy is also 1 p.m. at Pierre's Pub. We've got John Q at Milltop Tavern, 4:30. Mike Johnson and Little Big Band at Tradewinds Lounge. Troy wasn't allowed to go there in college. That's 5 p.m.
Yeah.
Damon Slaughter at O.C. White's Restaurant is also 5 p.m. Joe Lee at Michael's, 6 p.m. Another 6 p.m. crew, Jim Johnston at Prohibition Kitchen. Also 6 p.m. is Smoke and Joe Shower at Ann O'Malley's Deli and Pub. We've got another 6 p.m.er, Kate Archer at Harry's Seafood Bar and Grill. Reggie Starrett is rounding out our 6 p.m. crew, Salt Life Food Shack. Moving into 7 p.m., we've got Matt Wilson at Cortesi's Bistro, Dewey Via Band, and the Ty's Oyster Company and Grill. Also 7 p.m. I practiced. Trivia with Troy, Blake, and Aiden at Gypsy Cab, 7 p.m.
And we only have 2 more weeks at Gypsy Cab.
Oh, wow.
Because it got purchased by the Purple Olive. So we only have 2 more weeks, 2 more Tuesdays.
Is Purple Olive going to continue it, or are you going to move on?
No, it doesn't really fit into how they do it. So their model, their business model. So because trivia only fits in certain models. So.
I'm sure we can find you a spot.
Yeah, I think so.
Speaking of raising roofs, Fidus Roofing. I almost got that. When it comes to protecting your home, trust the local expert at Fidus Roofing and Construction, voted best in St. Augustine every year since 2012. Whether it's emergency repairs or full roof replacements, Fidus delivers expert shingle and metal installations using top-tier materials like the GAF Lifetime Roofing System, all backed by strong warranties and GAF Master Elite certification. And this summer, Fidus is proud to sponsor the Big Summer Fun Scramble on Friday, June 27th at the Golf Club at Southampton, benefiting Big Brothers and Big Sisters of St. Johns County. Tee off for a great cause with breakfast, lunch, raffles, contests, and more. You can sign up today at bbbsgolftournament.com. That's Big Brothers Big Sisters Golf Tournament.com. Fidus Roofing, 904-355-ROOF.
They do pavers
and gutters.
Yeah, they do.
All right. I mean, how nice is it that Fidus
awesome.
gives up their ad space to help a local charity? I mean, that's stepping up.
Really
that's stepping up at the next level, and that's what I love about our sponsors. I mean, we had Letty in, and she's always at everything. And so, I mean, if you go down our list of the people that are our sponsors, it's like just a who's who of who's helping out in the community, and it just makes me so proud that they're attached to our show.
Absolutely. That's very cool. And you will absolutely see representatives from our sponsors at all of the fundraising and community outreach programs that are throughout the county. It's really awesome. Moving back into the news, new Florida law will require school bus for Liberty Pines Academy students living in St. John's Forest. Some students at Liberty Pines Academy will soon have a safer way to get to school thanks to a new state law signed by Governor Ron DeSantis. The sidewalk along State Road 9B has officially been designated as hazardous, requiring the state to provide bus transportation for students living in the St. John's Forest neighborhood. The bill was sponsored by State Representative Kim Kendall, who called it her top legislative priority this year. Quote, "This was my number one top priority as a bill," Kendall said. The day bill drafting was opened, this was the first bill I entered. Kendall acted quickly to make sure families wouldn't go another school year without a bus, especially after the completion of a sidewalk had triggered a rule requiring children within 2 miles to walk to school. Quote, "I never envisioned that completing a sidewalk would force young kids to walk alongside dangerous traffic," she said, citing a series of serious crashes along the route. In recent years, multiple news outlets reported several incidents near the area, including car crashing into a pedestrian bridge, a flipped semi-truck, and multiple accidents along the median of St. John's Parkway. Kendall presented images of overturned vehicles on and near the sidewalk to lawmakers to emphasize the dangers students face on their walk to school. Now, with a new law in place, a school bus will be required for students in the affected area beginning next school year. That's amazing. Love that.
Yeah, and thanks, Kim. We actually saw Kim yesterday at the event. She's really doing a great job for our community and being, just a lot of that job is being there for the people that you're representing. And this was a problem. She saw it as a problem and went after it. And congratulations on. It's very hard for a new representative coming in to get that first one passed.
Yeah.
And she knocked it out of the park. And so congratulations on that. That's
awesome.
Showing great leadership.
Thank you, Representative Kendall. Canadian travel to Florida drops amid U.S.-Canada tensions. Florida's tourism numbers for the first quarter of 2025 show a decline in international visitors, even as domestic travel remains strong, according to data released by Visit Florida. From January through March, the state welcomed 41.193 million visitors, a total nearly identical to the same period in 2024. U.S. travelers made up nearly 92% of that figure, helping to keep overall tourism levels stable. However, the number of international visitors, particularly from Canada, is down. Visit Florida reports that 1.227 million Canadians traveled to Florida in the first quarter, a 3.4% drop from the same time last year. The dip comes as diplomatic tensions between the U.S. and Canada grow, including tariffs and annexation rhetoric from President Donald Trump. Meanwhile, Governor Ron DeSantis has dismissed the idea that political tensions are discouraging Canadian visitors and has called for shifting Florida's tax burden from property owners to tourists, particularly Canadians and Brazilians, through sales tax. Additional data from Statistics Canada shows even sharper declines in April. Car returns from the U.S. to Canada dropped 35%, and air returns fell nearly 20% compared to April 2024. Travel experts also report that airlines are reducing service from Canadian cities to Florida, including downsizing planes en route to Fort Lauderdale. Visit Florida also noted a slight dip in total overseas travel, down from 2.13 million in first quarter 2024 to 2.114 million in 2025. Florida has struggled to restore international tourism to pre-pandemic levels. In 2019, the state recorded more than 4 million Canadian and 9.8 million overseas visitors. Despite the first quarter slowdown, updated 2024 year-end numbers show a record 142.997 million total visitors, with 3.405 million from Canada and 8.938 million from overseas.
All right. So I got it. I sit on the TDC.
Yep.
Canada's in not just a recession, they're close to depression level.
Yeah.
So, tariffs haven't even taken effect yet.
I don't think
they haven't even went into place yet. So using that is just, that is political rhetoric.
It is.
Just so we're very clear.
Mm-hmm.
It's going to go down because people don't have excess money in Canada right now.
Yeah.
So it's, you can say whatever you want about the politics and stuff like that, but until their economy is stronger, we're not going to see another boost coming out of Canada.
Yeah, I agree.
They got to get their economy right. They've done this to themselves. They've devastated their own economy.
Yeah, 100%.
So and we love our Canadian. I mean, I speak fluent Canadian. So, You know,
Well, most of the Canadians.
yeah, we don't count Quebec.
Yeah.
So they don't want they don't want to be in Canada.
Yeah, they don't want to be counted.
But so these numbers are going to be what it is because of what's happening financially in that country.
Yeah.
So
yeah, I agree. And I mean, the trend has been that there are fewer international tourists since 2019. I mean, it's going to take time for other economies to rebound. Other people made different choices than the U.S. made since 2019.
Florida did very well in 21. It did, because we were open, and a lot of places weren't open. A lot of states that people would go to and say, "Oh, well, it's a tie between Florida or going to, New York City." New York was closed, so it wasn't an option. Tie was easily made. So we have a little bit of saturation from, we went to Florida just a couple years ago. Let's go someplace else.
Yeah.
So we're dealing with a little bit of that right now, but we're still holding our own, at least here in St. Augustine and St. Johns County. We're fairly
numbers,
flat. We might be down a little bit, but we're fairly flat.
Yeah. Overall numbers from last year shows that we are holding, even if the breakdown of where our tourists are coming from. As far as the sales tax rhetoric, do you think that would deter tourists?
No, they don't look at it.
Yeah, I don't really think so either.
They don't look at it as a travel choice. I mean, like if you looked at what you paid in taxes in like Disney, you might not ever go.
Yeah,
but
for sure.
But you know what? Your kids say, "I want to go to Disney." You're figuring out a way to go to Disney.
Yeah.
You paid resort tax, you paid all these other, the bed tax, you probably paid, like, after sales tax, you probably paid like 13-14%.
Yeah.
And here it's closer to 11. It's like 11.5 because your sales tax is 6.5 and your bed tax is 5. But down there they have another tax, a resort tax on top of those taxes. So that's not in your travel. The destination is
what you want to see,
not what you're paying in taxes. If you're traveling and you're making your decision by what you're paying in taxes, you probably shouldn't go on vacation. You probably should save your money.
Yeah. If you're Googling the tax rate, then you probably have too tight of a budget to be traveling.
But I mean, and it's a little deceptive because right now our occupancy is at the same level as what it was last year, but our ADR, average daily rate, is up slightly. So it gives us a look like we're up, but we're not really. It's flat.
Okay.
So,
well, I mean, people go to Gatlinburg all the time, and they have crazy tourism taxes.
Oh yeah,
like insane tourism taxes. So
Dolly's got to get her money. The Queen.
Well, she's sending all the books to all the kids.
Yeah,
she's got to
get her money.
Offset somehow.
The Queen's got to get it. So,
all right.
It's a cool place, though. I mean,
it is a cool place.
If you're in Tennessee, Gatlinburg is your Disney.
Oh yeah, we went a fall or two ago to Gatlinburg, and it was a good time.
Well, we had to get off the trail, and we happened to get off the trail at Gatlinburg right there. And unfortunately, one of the people hiking with me got COVID.
Oh no!
So we left him in the hotel. Make sure he was completely hydrated.
Go save yourself.
Make sure he's completely hydrated. But it was, I guess it was in 21.
Yeah.
And there was no lines. We went from like roller coaster to roller coaster to roller coaster. I was like, this is amazing. And it was the day Dolly was there. So I mean, it was all perfect.
I would love to meet Dolly.
Yeah.
She seems like such a sweet lady.
Yeah.
All right, we had a busy legislative session. Florida Governor Ron DeSantis has signed 10 more bills into law. Here's what to expect. I actually saw him over the weekend. Florida Governor Ron DeSantis signed 10 new bills into law on Friday, marking another round of legislative action during a busy period at the Capitol. The new laws cover a wide range of topics from fentanyl awareness and public safety to ethics rules and digital currency regulations. Here's the breakdown of what was signed. HB 259, Fentanyl Awareness Day, establishes August 21st as Fentanyl Awareness and Education Day to raise awareness about the dangers of fentanyl and overdoses. That takes effect July 1st, just in time. HB 515, cryptocurrencies, sets a legal framework allowing creditors to place liens on digital assets owned by debtors, also takes effect July 1st. HB 519, certified paramedics, allows paramedics to administer controlled substances under supervision during emergency services, that takes effect immediately. HB 1487, that's emergency services, updates requirements for faith-based nonprofit volunteer ambulance services to be exempt from needing a special certificate to operate. That takes effect July 1st. SB 348, ethics laws, adds a stolen valor provision banning false military claims by public officials and expands the Attorney General's power to garnish wages for ethics violations.
And that's an important one. Mm-hmm. That's an important one because people are trying to go after benefits.
Yeah.
And they don't necessarily deserve those benefits and pretending to be, a military, have a military background, or even signing up to get jobs.
Oh, that's crazy. So. How can you look yourself in the mirror? Ugh. SB 356, Holocaust Remembrance Day, designates January 27th as Holocaust Remembrance Day in Florida. Schools may use the day to educate students on the Holocaust, anti-Semitism, and contributions of the Jewish community. That takes effect July 1st. SB 582, Historic Buildings, allows higher fines for the willful, unpermitted demolition of buildings listed on the National Register of Historic Places unless caused by a natural disaster. That takes effect July 1st. SB 1490, Children's Medical Services, transfers management of Florida's Children's Medical Services Managed Care Plan from the Department of Health to the Agency for Healthcare Administration. That takes effect immediately. SB 1640, Public Records Lethality Forms, creates a public records exemption for forms used to assess domestic violence victims' risk levels. The exemption will expire in 2030 unless renewed. That took effect immediately. SB 7006, Public Records 911 Infrastructure, maintains a public records exemption for 911-related infrastructure blueprints and structural details, including antennas, towers, and radio equipment. That took effect immediately as well. Troy, how do you want to check the comments today?
On this Tuesday, I will trek triumphantly through the tremendous followers' comments.
Awesome. BNS Signs wants your business to get noticed and stay that way. Turn to BNS Signs, proudly family-owned and serving St. Augustine for over 50 years. From bold vinyl lettering to towering pylon signs, they specialize in high-quality custom signage built to last. Their expert team handles everything from design, installation, crane service, repairs, and maintenance with fast and responsive service that keeps your sign looking sharp. Make a lasting impression with BNS Signs. Visit bnssigns.com because when it comes to signs, they do it all. Also brought to you by St. Augustine Handy House. Need a custom or prefab portable building that's built to last? Come to St. Augustine Handy House, proudly owned by Troy Usina Enterprises and serving the community since 1988. With over 70 structures in stock, from sheds and barns to carports and offices, you'll find the perfect fit for your need. Every building comes with free delivery, leveling, and anchoring, plus easy financing options to fit your budget. Visit them on State Road 16, open Monday through Saturday, or call 904-823-9092, St. Augustine Handy House, where quality meets convenience. All right, Troy, let's give us a report of those comments.
All right, so Wawa was at 292, Costco's at 271, BP's at 289. Rebecca said, and she actually put the link in the comment, it's Free Tree Day for City of St. Augustine.
Very cool.
So go to that link, figure out how to get yourself the canopy tree that they're going to deliver. And it looks like Spanish was easily the winner.
Yeah.
There was some Italian out there and some French out there, but Spanish seemed to be the winner of the question of the day.
I love that. All right, Troy, do we have a Stoidum stat today?
We do have a Stoidum stat today, and it is about Dr. Benjamin Rush.
Okay.
Do you know who Dr. Benjamin Rush
Signer
is?
of the Declaration.
He was a signer of the Declaration. Very good.
Yep.
Very good. Well, he was the doctor of the Continental Army. He believed in hygiene being one of the important things. But Dr. Rush, he was also considered the father of American psychiatry.
Okay.
he believed mental health was very important with the soldiers and everything else.
Awesome.
But on this day is the day Thomas Jefferson wrote to John Adams in 1813 and explained that their mutual friend, Dr. Benjamin Rush, had died.
Oh, okay.
And that's how the two of them came back together as friends. They hadn't talked for years.
Oh, yeah.
But Dr. Rush a year earlier tried to get them back together and tried to, you guys are close friends. He's friends with both of them.
Yeah.
Tried to get them back together. And it took Dr. Rush's death for the two of them to reconcile and correspond again. And they didn't. They did that for the next 13 years, and they both died on the 4th of July in 26. So, so thank you, Dr. Benjamin Rush. I mean, he was the founder of the Dickinson College, which I didn't know that. So he was a professor.
Didn't know that either.
He was a professor at University of Pennsylvania, and then he founded Dickinson College.
I had a friend that worked for Dickinson College, so I spent some time there in college. Go and pick her up and take her out to lunch. So I didn't know that. I didn't know that connection.
Yeah. So a very, very interesting guy when I went down my dive. So
a man before his time as far as hygiene and mental health.
Yeah. No, I mean, and that was actually one of the things, and the irony of it is he died of yellow fever, typhus, is what got him at age 67.
I believe he refused to leave during a yellow fever outbreak.
Yeah, he got it from his patients.
Yeah.
He got it from his patients.
Wow.
So
the Stoidum Stat brought to you by St. Augustine Pizza in downtown St. Augustine, right on the corner of Riberia and MLK. You can't get yourself a slice today. Aren't they closed on Monday?
No, it's not Monday.
That's right. It's Tuesday.
It's Tuesday.
Oh my word. I'm going to be messed up all week. Get yourself a slice today. It's Tuesday.
Yeah.
All right, plugs, Troy.
All right, plugs. If you are coming to trivia tonight, please call ahead. So because we do it by reservation, and it is our last two weeks there. So you get down there to Gypsy before they actually retire. They call it retiring. Yes.
All right. Well, very cool. I just want to thank everybody for holding down the fort so I could go off. I had some personal development, career development, and got to spend some time with my family.
That was awesome.
Cool.
I'm glad you sent pictures, and you guys looked like you were having a great time.
We were having a good time. Don't forget to like and follow us on Facebook, Instagram, and subscribe on YouTube and Rumble. Bye, guys.
Bye-bye.